Hey everybody, Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Stampin' Show and Tell project for you today. We're going to be stamping a scenic scene with our Waterfront stamp sets. We're going to do mountains and trees and a little cabin. And then I'm borrowing from the Hostess set, Holiday Haul, these little snowflakes to do our background bordering. And then I'm also borrowing Happy Holidays sentiment from the Merry Christmas to All stamp set. So, a little of this, a little of that, and we're going to come up with our card. So don't think that you can't mix and match your sets, because obviously you can. So this one's going to go together pretty easily. It's some fun stamping and then just some fancy cutting, and we'll layer it all up and we'll be good to go. So let's start by stamping our mountain. So I'm going to use crumb cake, and I'm just going to try to stamp it kind of in the center. So I'm going to stamp it once. And then I'm going to come in and overlap it. Spread out my mountains a little bit, and I'm going to go one a little bit higher. So see how I get that nice mountain range in there? Okay, then I'm going to come in with shaded spruce and do 2 sets of trees along either side. So I've got one over here. I've got another one over there. Okay. Now for our little house. So I'm just going to use the brush tip of my marker. I'm going to paint my little red house. And I'm going to put him right here by the trees. Just like that. Okay, so there is our scene. Now I'm going to come in with Balmy Blue and that borrowed snowflake set from the Hostess set, Holiday Haul. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp all around the scene and fill it in. So I'm going to stamp once and then I'm going to stamp off. And I'm going right around my edge. Just repeating that stamped image. And then if you want to get a little closer in, you can go back around again, fill in some extra snowflakes. So you can make it as full as you want to make it. Alright, a little more down there. Okay, so there's our snowflakes. So all that's being done. Now I'm going to borrow from my nested labels, stitch nested label dies, and we're going to die cut that scene just so we can pop it up a little bit on our card and make it stand out. So I'm just going to take my frame in my trees, run this through my Big Shot. I'm going to run that back. Sometimes I find I run them twice and it helps, sometimes once is enough, so twice for good measure. So now I'm going to free this from the background. I'm going to carefully get this one to release. I just kind of run my finger along the inside. Okay, so here is the front of our card. Like that. So we're going to go ahead and snail down the border. And I'm going to put a little snail right along the frame itself because I don't want it to kind of pick up on me. So I might be using a little bit more than I normally would, but I want it to really stick down. So I'm just going to center that on my Balmy Blue card base, and then our scene is going to get dimensionals. So it pops up a little bit from the edge. So this is going to set right back in here. Now, you could leave it like this with the white on the white, but if you notice on this one, you may not notice, I have a very faint Balmy Blue outline on there. So all I do for that is I bring in my pad And before I take those stickies off, I'm just going to kind of tap my cut edge into the stamp pad. And it's just going to kind of dye the cut with the ink. I just like it because it gives it a little border without a layer of cardstock. So you don't have that thickness, but you still have the color, the framing. So, alright, so now I'm going to place this right into its spot where it was die cut out, right, just like a puzzle piece. Alright, then I have a piece of 1/2 inch scrap thick white cardstock here, and I borrowed the 2 words Happy Holidays from the sentiment set. I'm just going to ink that up with my marker. Sometimes I find these little words, it's easier to marker them than it is to use a stamp pad. Then you don't end up with all that extra ink on your block. So just give that a good brush. I'm going to huff it. Then I'm just going to put it down on my 1/2 inch strip. Stamp it. Good. Then this is going to go down here, just like that. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and snip it right about here. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on the back of this, and I'll add that to my card. Alright, so there's our card. Now, to add a little bit of sparkle, I'm going to bring my Link of Stella in. And I'm just going to paint the white. Oops. I'm going to paint the white. Bring that down here now. Everything's going to get a little snow on this one. In between the cabin and the trees and the mountain. You want to be careful not to pick up ink from your trees or your cabin. So I'm just adding some glimmer in between, like freshly fallen snow. Alright, so there's that. Then, if you want to, right, you're going to stamp your card, you might as well stamp your envelope. I went ahead and I stamped my trees on the edge, and then I'm going to add a cabin one more time to my envelope. Nice little pairing there. And there we go. So there is our simple holiday scene put together with a few different scents. So you can see on this one, obviously I squeezed my pen and I got a lot dolloped on there, and this one it was much fainter. So be careful with your Ring of Stella, as you can see. But I like them both, and they're good to go. So have fun doing some holiday cards. Mix and match your sets to make something new and different and unique for yourself, and have some fun. So remember, you can get the instructions over on the blog, so the link is below, and all materials are listed there as well, so no questions about what I used and what I pulled together. Alright everybody, enjoy your stamping time. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.